Today we are going to go on a journey to find out if the thing is worth ranking at SIG 20. Alright, what is going on, my dudes? We are back here today with the video I've been meaning to make for quite a bit now. A while ago I put out a poll that was like, do you want to see, is Jubilee underrated? Do you want to see, does Killmonger still hold up? Or do you want to see, is thing worth ranking as SIG 20? Jubilee won, or did Killmonger win? I don't remember who won, but I made both of those videos. Now we're making the third one. I started making this like a month and a half ago, but guess what? I just finished it today. So we're going to be jumping in right now. And yes, by the way, I know I'm incredibly sunburnt. You don't need to tell me in the comments. You can if you want to. I figured I'd wear a red shirt so you can see the comparison there. There's definitely a bit of a farmer's tan there from it, but hey man, it is what it is. Can't go back in time. Always wear your sunscreen. All right. So, up first, man, we're going to start looking at this guy's damage. Now, there's a few different things you can do with the thing. Of course, you can build him on a Fantastic Four synergy team. You can use the champion synergy to really make his damage bonkers. Or we can check out how he does solo. And that's what we're going to do first. I'm going to show you all three of these things, okay? So, the downside of the thing here is that he does reach very high damage output solo. The only issue is it takes a minute to ramp up. So he has 60 passive furies, okay? Now, the way he gets his passive furies is kind of like this. You do your parries and you gain your rock stacks. He's a very tanky champion. Now, at this point, right, we're at 15. We're at 15, and now we're going to parry. We got 20, okay? So you can either let these rock stacks fall off to gain 5 fury, or use a special attack to turn those into 20. Okay, now you can go for the special 2, or you can go for the special 3. The special 3 is going to be nice. It's going to increase the potency of your fury and all that fun stuff, right? So that's what we're going to do here. So as you can see, we have 10 passive furies. Now we're going for the special 3. This Deadpool is already down to 74% health, all right? The special 3 is going to make us unblockable and also unstoppable when we have the 69% health, nice. When we have the 20 rock stacks, okay? And now we're going to be doing a lot of damage just at 30 of our furies here, okay? So now we're ramping up quite nicely, all right? Very, very, very nicely here. We're doing decent damage. So yeah, that's pretty much the downside of the thing, though, is that he kind of needs a minute to start clobbering, you know? But once you start clobbering, you're going to have a good time. And now I could probably go for like a special 2 at this point, right? I'll activate protection so I can mitigate the recoil damage. Only at SIG 20, so only a little bit. If you're at SIG 200, you pretty much see like no recoil like at all. It's pretty nice, man. It's a really, really nice ability if you run those masteries, right? But yeah, so as you can see, definitely respectable damage output here, right? Not too bad. But if you want to have a really good time, if you want to have a really good time here with this guy, you can do this. You can go in here with the full Fantastic Four team. And the ramp up becomes not so much a ramp up. Because look at this. We don't have to wait for things to fall off. We're gaining double the rock stacks. And in about 7 or 8 parries, we're completely ramped up. We're ramped up right now higher than we were in the first fight. We have all 60 furies because with the full Fantastic Four synergy, okay, you're getting double the rock stacks and you're also converting them when you go above 20. So just for getting to the special 3 in regards to power, Deadpool's down to 59% health, right? Very easily. Now we're going to go for the special 3, fully ramped up. We're doing the same rotation that we did in the first video, okay? So we're testing out synergy versus solo here is what we're doing, okay? Not too bad. Now we're going to go in. We're throwing like 10k light attacks. Yeah, not too bad, man. We're unblockable. We're unstoppable. Of course, he's regenerating because he's Deadpool. That's kind of what he does here, right? And look at this. It's perfect. We're going for the same rotation. Special 3 into special 2. And of course, right? Of course, the full synergy team is going to look more impressive. Now, let's say you're a huge fan of the Thing, right? And you want to use this guy for like the side quest, for Cavalier monthly quests, even for like general questing, or even Act 7 or Act 6, because this is Act 6, right? SIG 20. You can go in with the champion synergy, which was there for the last video, right? But we didn't utilize it. The champion synergy is so absolutely ridiculous, especially with the full Fantastic Four on the team as well. So this is the full Fantastic Four and also the champion. First of all, let's take a moment to talk about, even at SIG 20, we have taken 26 hits from a 6.4 defender, 30 hits, and we're down to 25% health. This guy is unbelievably tanky. And that's a huge plus in my opinion. So now we triggered the passive indestructible, right? We have 8 Furies. Look at that combo. Watch this. Deadpool's at 50% health. Watch this, ready? Dead. Dead. And now that we ended that fight at about 10% health, right? We get to go into, look at that, successful hits 10, hits received 45. Now that we have that low health, you get to go into the next fight, right? And it becomes that much easier to ramp up in the beginning. So if you want to have fun in a side quest or even story quests or other stuff like that, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. So, does Thing have damage at SIG 20? Abso-freaking-lutely, man. Now, let's start looking at some of his utilities that he has, because he has quite a bit. You know, nowadays, people get excited over Overseer and Mr. Negative being Nullify immune, right? They're able to do Power Snack and Buffet and other general nullifying champions, defenders, right? Without having to worry about anything. But back in the day, the Thing had that. The Thing had that first. All the way back in 2018, I believe he was released, or maybe 2019. I don't really remember at this point. But watch, here's a perfect example against Dr. Doom. So we're going to bait out a special one from Dr. Doom, okay? And we're going to get hit by it on purpose. Boom. Unstoppable, nullify, immune, okay? Our unstoppable is not getting nullified when we hit him, right? We'd also be shock immune if we were. And yeah, so we're immune. This effectively makes us immune to Buffet and Power Snack and all of those nodes that nullify you, right? That's definitely very nice to have. Another thing he has is he actually has a nullify on his special one in regards to Unstoppable. So we're fighting Juggernaut here, so check this out. This is very occasionally useful. Boom. Nullify the Unstoppable. Another thing he has, right, is he has that stagger on special too, which isn't as useful as that is, but it's just a little extra something that he has that will occasionally be useful as well. Now, the Thing has a lot of immunities as well. One of those is shock. Shock immunity, not just shock debuffs, full shock. So EMP modification, a very annoying node, right? This is a lane in 6.3.6. One of the more annoying lanes in all of Act 6 because you pretty much need a fully shock immune champion or a champion with no buffs, which would be, you know, immune to EMP modification. So the shock damage here is very punishing. There's also like Acid Wash and another node where you have to hit the defender to put a poison on them. Just lots of complicated nodes here in Act 6. The important one is the EMP modification. As you can see, I'm triggering EMP modification multiple times. I'm not really worried about that shock getting us, right? We're going for the special 2 here. And yeah, we're just trucking along, man. And again, like I've said many times, the thing with the Thing is that he kind of needs that time to ramp up. So we're here solo, we have no synergies, right? And there's no doubt about it, Thing is super fun to use with synergies. He's super fast, he's super speedy, he's super exciting, right? But when you have to ramp him up, it's not as exciting. But the point of this video is that, let's say you have some content where you have some shocks that you can't get by, but you have an unduped or a SIG 20, SIG 40 Thing and you're saying to yourself, man, you know, my alliance keeps telling me like thing needs to be SIG 200. I can't rank that guy up. Unfortunately, he's got that shock immunity, but he just needs to be a high SIG. Maybe that's what you've heard in the past. Thing for a smaller roster, for shock immunity, for bleed immunity, for other immunities as well, right, can be very, very useful because that covers a lot of ground. Because it's not just shocks, it's also bleeds. So bleed goes very far. There's biohazard. There's stuff like caltrops. This is 7.1.6 biohazard. There are lots of biohazard and caltrops lanes all throughout Act 6, Act 7. It pops up in the monthly quests all the time, in side quests. It's very common. Now, the thing actually ramps up kind of naturally here when there are bleeds, okay? And that's because you lose 3 rock stacks, you gain 3 furies when you're going to gain a bleed, as you can see right here, right? So we're just hitting Ronin naturally. We got 9 furies, right? And of course, you know, we can go through this whole thing, but it ends fine. We don't take any damage because we're immune to bleed. That's kind of the whole thing here. So let's check out over here. This is a lane in Act 7.1 called Eat Crow and also Buffet. Science attackers gain immunity nullify. Cool, he was already immune to it, okay? Also Buffet. So just imagine that like Eat Crow wasn't there. But what it's gonna do is it's gonna give us a little bit more damage also, which is fun whenever we're immune to that. So this is Ebony Maw. Ebony Maw nullifies your furies and other buffs as well on the special one. He also places a fury on you on his special one too. Okay, so with Ebony Maw here, normally you see that fury buff on me, you should be like really worried to push him to a special one at this point, right? Because you wouldn't want him to nullify that buff. But we're not really too concerned about that because what we're that was nice. Because what we're going to be doing here is just being immune to it, which is really, really nice. Also, check out Ebony Maw's health, by the way. Speaking of nice, so yeah. Of course, with Ebony Maw, you always want to counter that special one with your heavy attack if you know the spacing of it, just to keep his focus at pretty much 0, right? You always want him to be focusing. But yeah, the thing is definitely a very decent Ebony Maw counter because, you know, nowadays people use Overseer for him, Mr. Negative for him very efficiently. And the reason is because they're immune to nullify. But guys, so is the thing. So let's say you don't have Overseer or Mr. Negative or Spidey 2099 or even Human Torch, who are amazing, you know, Ebony Maw counters. Let's say you have the thing. Let's say Unduped Thing or SIG 20 Thing is one of your first 10 6-stars, and there's a really rough Ebony Maw that's blocking you on a path. Well, I think that the thing could put in a lot of work for your account at that point, right? And that's kind of like who these videos are for, those types of accounts, right? This isn't for like the account that has like 186 stars and 12 rank 3 science champs like me, where they're all immune to nullify and Human Torch and no buffs and everything, right? That's not who this video is for, you know? Like, I could rank up Thing because he'd be fun for me, but a person with a smaller account, well, he could be very useful, you know? Now, another thing here is that at SIG 200, he's got that ridiculous damage mitigation, 100% reduction, right? We're going to take a look at SIG 20. We're going to go into 7.1.1. The no doesn't matter. It's like Gotta Light's Mighty Charge. I picked a random lane. This is the one that I picked. Congratulations, Cyclops. You're finally good for something. You won, all right? So, what we're going to do here is we're going to get 20 rock stacks. We're going to push them to a special 3. We're going to activate protection, and we're going to see how well we survive a special 3 in Act 7 at SIG 20. It's not 100% damage mitigation like SIG 200, but it's only 17 stacks. Let's see. This is important, man. This is why people are like, oh, he needs to be SIG 200 because of the damage mitigation. Okay, we took, wow, from 94% health to 82. And we weren't even at the full 20 stacks. We took 12%. We took 12%, man. 12%. Look at that. Oh, he's about to get kicked right in the face, dude. Watch out, Thing, because you're getting kicked, man. So yeah, guys, that's the thing. It's like, I feel like there's this misconception that the Thing needs to be at SIG 200 to be good. And if we look at Aunt May, right? The way this curve happens here, it starts very low at SIG 1. At SIG 20, it gets up a little higher. SIG 40, a lot higher. SIG 60, which feels like a nice sweet spot for me, about 60% damage reduction, right? And then you put about 140 more SIGs in and it goes up to 80%, right? So this curve makes him feel pretty good at SIG 20 when it comes to damage reduction, very good at SIG 40, and great at SIG 60, and anything else is a nice bonus, right? But the way that curve happens is that most of the benefit there is in like the first 66, in my opinion, right? And here's the thing, guys, like, you really shouldn't be using the thing to like mitigate damage he shouldn't be taking. In my opinion, I feel like there's a better option for those fights, right? Like if you're going to use him for like an incinerate node, or like let's say like backblast, right? If the goal is like to always be in protection when you have the incinerate on you, I feel like there are better options for those fights. So yeah, the thing might lose some value in those really weird niche use scenarios for him, right? When he's only at SIG 20. But I think he could be a very valuable champion for a lot of people to rank up. Also, if you care about battlegrounds, this dude does not need to be at SIG 200 to be a real pain in the ass on defense, man. Let me tell you that. So whether he is unduped or not unduped, but like, even if he is unduped, he'll be annoying, man, if you don't have like a decent thing counter, right? Yeah, but even like SIG 20, man, he's gonna be a real pain in the butt for battlegrounds. If you care about battlegrounds, this guy can definitely be worth ranking at SIG 20, no doubt about it. If you enjoy the character, if you have his synergy partners, if you need that niche utility that he has, I say give thing a second look, even though yours is only SIG 20, right? But anyway, my dudes, that is it for this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop your boy a big ol' like, comment what you think about the thing at SIG 20 in the comment section below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos just like this coming to you in the future, and I will be seeing you around.